Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're having a quick look through the Nextbase 522 Dashcam. We'll have a quick look through the box, and then we'll take it into the car, set it up, and see what we think. So, got a couple of little notes from Nextbase and a quick start guide. We'll have a look through that in a moment. We've also got the camera, a nice little foam sleeve, and that's looking quite nice. Bit of a bulky unit. It's got a nice screen on the back. Nice lens on it, so I'll pop that there. A quick look through here, we've got 12 volt power cable, looks like it's quite a decent length. Suction cup mount, nice quick one. So if you're transferring it between cars often, that'd be nice, easy to use. Ooh. Cable tool, it's nice, not many of them come with that, particularly the expensive ones I've been used to getting. And another mount. That's another not suction cup, sticky mount. USB cable, which is a lot shorter than that one, so I'm guessing this isn't for powering it. And a spare sticky pad. Fabulous, right. Quick look at the camera itself. Yeah, so it's not too bad of a size. You can see it's relatively thick. It's that lens that really adds to it. I imagine if you've got that going on, suddenly it's going to be right in the eye line, but otherwise that's very nice. The sticky mount, yeah, pretty standard. Got a little cable in there. Quick release by the look of it. Yeah, I guess you use that on the yeah, that's the GPS mount, so it'll go on the suction cup as well. As I say, spare sticky pad, don't need that. Micro USB. Yeah, so it's got a micro USB on the top. And then the power cable itself, which has a little light on it as well, so I guess you know when it's having power. Don't know why they would put the bulky bit on this end though, right where you're going to actually have it in your eye line. Check that over there. Right, well, to begin with, need to charge the camera for 2 hours and then install it in the car, power it up, see what we're working with. So now the camera's installed, let's have a look at a couple of the clips to show how it performs in different light levels and different weather conditions and see what we think of it. You can see in this first clip lots of light. It gets a little bit confused by it. Looks like the polarising filter is struggling a little bit. One thing I want to be sure of with my dash cameras is that I can read number plates from the video, just in case there's something that I need to report or some details that I might miss. And with this camera, unfortunately, it does seem like there's a bit of a problem. You have to be within about 20 to 25 foot to be able to read the road sign or the license plate on the vehicles. And that gets even worse at night when you have to be a lot closer. We're talking more like 10 to 15 foot. So if you're on a high-speed road, the chance of you getting those details are very slim. As you can see, I'm driving the same road as in the daytime clip from a moment ago, and the details just aren't there. You really can't pick up on the surrounding area and what's really going on, which really highlights the weakness of the low light levels in this camera. It's nice to have the details stamped on the screen, and they are very accurate, very good at showing things like your speeds, the time and the date. And it's nice that you can remove that as well through the options should you choose to. So now let's take a look at a sample clip with the sound on. I apologise in advance for the radio at the time. So one of the great things about having the screen directly on the camera is it makes instant playback possible, meaning you can watch the clips back straight away wherever you are, in the car, back home, whatever you want to do, just directly on the screen of the camera. And it's nice as well, on this camera you can actually edit those clips slightly, so you can make them smaller, you can protect clips if they haven't protected themselves, and it just gives you a few more options there, and it's really easy to navigate, very easy to use. The screen itself is not very responsive, but it's plenty enough for all you'd need to do with the camera. The inbuilt Alexa is pretty much just a gimmick in my mind, but it does have some uses. I used it to make an announcement to the house to suggest that I was on my way home, which worked quite well actually. I was quite surprised how well that worked. Alexa, send announcement to all devices. I'm on my way home.
Announcing.
The Alexa also gives you the option to pick what music you're listening to or skip tracks, go back tracks, or so on. So if you have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in the car, it could be very useful there as well. Directly on the camera itself, you have a nice protect button. As soon as you push it, it lights up red, which is great, makes it really, really obvious that you have saved that clip. And it means that you can go back and watch that clip at any point. Plus it will appear in the protected file rather than just the continuous file when watching the video back on the camera itself. It's also got what it calls emergency SOS, where you can plumb in a lot of details, so you can put a lot of your own details in, so you can say who's in the car. The emergency SOS can be used to call the emergency services should it sense a crash. You can also set it up to back up the video to the cloud and send that to someone you know. I don't know how reliable that would be personally, but it's got to be a good feature, so it would be interesting to see how that worked. It's great being able to adjust all of the settings through the screen itself. It's a nice size screen. It's not too big, so it's not in the way, but it's also not too small and fiddly. The buttons are nice and big, very easy to control, and there's a lot of settings that you can have a look through and set this camera up just right for yourself. Go through and you've got all the settings you'd expect from a normal dash camera, so G-sensor controls, parking mode controls, the resolution, frame rate, all of that good stuff, and even being able to format the SD card is all part of the camera's settings. So it's very easy and very clear to find what you're looking for on the camera itself. There are a lot of settings, so it can be a little bit tricky if you're looking for one thing in particular, but generally it makes a lot of sense and is very easy to get on with. And one of the other great things is you do have the accompanying phone app as well, which gives you a lot of the controls that you get through the camera itself, and it's where you put in any details to set up Alexa or your emergency SOS. And the phone app itself is very clear and very easy to use as well. And lastly, we're taking a look at the My Nextbase player, which is the software you can get from Nextbase. You can play back your videos on here, including getting your speed readout, direction of travel, GPS, G-sensing, all of that is all part of this editing software. You can also actually trim the videos down and add annotations, so if you're going to send the clip to insurance for whatever reason, you can tell them who they're looking at. You can make the clip a lot shorter, so you can show just the important bits of it. Adding a title screen, all of that. Basically, it's like having a much more expensive editing software, but obviously it's free using the Nextbase player. It is pretty good. It does have its flaws. It definitely has a fair amount of bugs, but it works fairly well. I've used it about 3 times, and every time I've had an issue with it, from the playback not working properly to the annotations being in the wrong place. But honestly, when it is working, it does a great job. So, what are my final thoughts on the Nextbase 522 GW Dashcam? Well, I like it. I think it's a good package. It does everything you need, nothing you don't, and it's got a nice array of features on it. I think the best thing about it is the price point. You're not going to find better for the same price, and I think it'll work perfectly enough for everyday use for most drivers. Me personally, it doesn't quite offer what I'd like from a dash cam. I want a bit more quality. I want to be able to see a bit more detail in the video. but it's certainly enough, particularly if you're just using it for insurance purposes, does plenty enough for that. But you can probably get cheaper that'll do the job just as well, to be honest. The good thing about this is it does come with the features on it that you wouldn't get on most other dash cams, so the emergency SOS and the Alexa support. And as I say, I don't think I'd get the use out of it, but certainly it is a neat little package for everyday use. So, thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see another video, click somewhere over here. If you'd like to subscribe and see what we've got coming up, click right over here, and I'll catch you next time.